said that he looked like a character from the show Ozark. He obviously got offended. He doxed the guy's whole like name and everything. And basically, he got canceled by Rise. Okay, Rise is like a fitness company. And they basically like just got rid of him. They dropped him as an athlete of theirs, which I'm not surprised. A lot of these fitness companies are and they typically don't stand by their athletes if they say things that are offensive. And I told you guys this the other day that fitness influencers are cowards. Most of them are. They can't stand on anything they say. They can't have base takes because they'll get canceled, right? And it's just very annoying. So we'll watch this a little bit and we'll give some commentary. So let's go ahead and get into it.
In your past life, you were a huge piece of shit. So there's one problem with being famous, but in your past life, you were a huge piece of shit. No matter what you think you've changed, or no matter how you've tried to alter your appearance or maybe your name, you can never outrun the shit that you did. Scotty K Fitness, also known as Matt Kramer, welcome to the show. So Scotty's made headlines recently for just kind of being he made fun of a disabled person, he got canceled, Rise let him go. But I'm here to tell you.
Yeah, he made fun of him and he doxed him. Now, here's the thing, right? The reason why this is so bad is because Scotty K Fitness is a progressive left-wing fitness influencer where it says safe space there, okay? This is precisely why they're coming after him. If he was based and said, I don't give a fuck about these weirdos, okay? And he said, like I do, Indians stink, fat people are disgusting, right? Run America. These are weird. He would be safe. But since he put safe space in his profile with a rainbow, well, sir, you set yourself up for failure. Okay? Because now, when you get canceled, they're going to pile on like you've never seen. Okay? This is why being a misogynist, an anti-Semite, and a racist is the best way to go. Because they can't cancel you if they try. All right? And this is the trade-off, okay? Let me be very candid with you guys about this. When you have polarizing views, you are immediately going to lose half of your fan base or I don't even want to say fan base. I want to say a potential support base, okay? A lot of people are, and what I mean by this is if you don't hold identical political or social or cultural views to them, they don't want to watch you, okay? They just don't because they look at you as a racist, an anti-Semite, a bigot, etc. This is why the that watch people like Abba and Preach would probably stand to benefit from watching my content because I actually teach them how to make money, give them unapologetic takes on how the world really works. I'm not a center-sitting progressive like them. And a lot of their fans actually have come over because they've been forced to consume our content through them. And they're like, these actually provide more value, even though I don't align with them politically. But outside of them being force-fed our content because those guys make endless videos on us, many times, a lot of influencers have a decision to make. You're either going to, A, be very vanilla in your takes, not talk about certain topics, or lean a little bit more left to garner more audience share, right? Or you're going to be a real and you're going to say what the fuck it really is at the cost of cancellation, losing a large part of a potential supporter base, and being ostracized by certain influencers, advertisers, donors, sponsors, whatever the fuck, okay? Now, here's the issue if you choose to not be a real like myself. When you do get exposed, all right, and it's a matter of time, they're going to destroy you, okay? Because when you prop yourself up on being a progressive or a safe space or being like a fitness influencer and being neutral or whatever, as soon as you take a side, especially progressives, they're going to come at you with a fury that you've never seen before because they are pro-cancel. They are pro-destroying you. They're pro-destroying your reputation, and they are going to let that fire spread far and wide because they hate bigots. So if you exhibit any type of behaviors that could be considered bigoted or misogynistic or anti-Semitic or any of these other things, they're coming for your neck. And that is what's happening with Scotty K Fitness because he built an audience of snowflakes that, quite frankly, cannot accept another worldview besides their own. Hence why it needs to be a safe space, as you see here, okay? Because if he was a real this hit piece hit as hard as it's about to right now. But let's go ahead and get into it.
He's going to relish and miss the times we were on him for just that, because Scotty has a dirty secret. You see, this safe space on his bio is quite misleading because Scotty was actually born Matthew Scott Kramer. This is his birth certificate. In July 2025, he got really famous. He changed his name to Scotty Knox Flynn. Now, Scotty, also known as Matt, told the judge that he was changing his name because he didn't like his family's name and wanted to change it for that reason. But I have a different theory as to why Scotty changed his name to Scotty from Matt. Matt. And it has to do with this complaint filed against him in the ongoing investigation that occurred for when he was an officer at a school. You see, Mr. Safe Space was an officer at a school. However, he was allegedly telling students that he started an OnlyFans for extra money and made inappropriate statements about that were walking 25 feet in front of him.
So basically, it was a womanizer, right? Now, as you guys know, when you're a real, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we're all womanizers. Who care? Who gives a fuck, right? But as a progressive, this is a big problem, right? Women are equal. They're special, right? But if you had just been a real ninja from the beginning, are dumb and I don't give a fuck, we're just trying to smash, nobody would care. But this is going to be a big issue for someone like him.
It's even alleged by one of his fellow officers that he was trying to look up on Facebook a student that he saw around campus that wasn't wearing a bra. Not a very safe space, is it? Pause and hold to read this. But even his fellow officers all say that he makes them uncomfortable and that he says multiple and many off-color things about...
For example, Pete Hegseth, as you guys know, was in the military and he had some questionable behaviors with, sexual harassing. Babe said that some people made even allegations that he was sexually assaulting one, whatever, drunk, all that shit. But he's the Secretary of War. Right? So in other words, on the right-hand side, right, we're a bit more like, these be lying, bro. Like, you know what I mean? These be lying. But on the left, oh, bro, it's believable. You can do no wrong. Oh my God. The fact that you even looked at her ass is so evil. The fact that you want to sleep with is so evil, right? So the problem here is that he pandered to an audience that, if they know his past, would absolutely crucify him.
Fatality.
And unfortunately, now they're getting the truth.
Fatality.
Right? On the right, we're a bit more, hey man, these be lying. Left? Nope, it's believe all. So
in the presence of the other officers. And this is such a big problem that it made its way into an investigation and a complaint lodged against him. This investigation was eventually closed, and it was closed because Scotty just quit. It says here that he was so pissed off that they were questioning him that he just said, I quit, and left. And then about 4 or 5 years later, he got really popular on social media and probably thought, that's out there. People know who Matt Kramer is. Gotta change my name. Unfortunately, the bad stories about Matt don't stop there. This is a personal account from a woman that met him at a jiu-jitsu gym. She personally testified that he held her down by her throat and told her how he could kill her right there and it would be easy for him to get away with it.
Said that with that crazy mustache.
Because of his police background. I don't know if you guys qualify that as a safe space, but I certainly don't. Well, Scotty, it looks like you have something else to make a groveling apology video for. But let's be real. You've been sitting in that chair all week wondering when we would find this. Time to see yourself out of the fitness industry, buddy.
Yeah, and the fitness industry is lame. Like, you'll literally lose your career for shit like this because they're so vanilla and lame. That's why so many fitness influencers are terrified. I told you guys already, bro. Guys are scared to collab from the fitness industry, right? Christian Guzman is a little worried right now. They can't do nothing. You guys already know Jeff Knepper said no, right? And this is what happens when you're a real bro. It's just unfortunate. They can't do it because the fitness industry, like, they tend to lean left, they tend to be woke, and they tend to get offended, right? So it is what it is. And you guys know that's a big reason why I don't like making fitness content, because it's lame anyway. I like to work out. It's my me time, right? I've never taken a steroid. I don't do drugs. I don't believe in steroids, right? So for me, it's like you just got to be in shape. Like, there's no other way around.